The email pinged at 8:47 a.m. Sharp as a knife edge. Role reassignment. Effective immediately. I stare at the screen in my cramped office on the 5th floor of Apex Defense Solutions, the air thick with the scent of stale coffee and printer ink. My name, Elena Vasquez, glared back at me from the header, followed by a string of corporate jargon that boiled down to one gut-punch reality. After 15 years as the lead procurement specialist, the guardian of our $450 million Department of Defense contracts, I was being shuffled to the front desk. Receptionist. The word landed like a demotion wrapped in velvet, but I knew the velvet was thin. The sender? Tyler Hargrove. The founder's golden boy son, fresh from his Ivy League MBA, with his gelled hair and perpetual smirk that screamed, "I've got this all figured out." He didn't. Not even close. I didn't slam my keyboard or storm his office.
No.
I leaned back in my chair, the leather creaking under me, and let the silence settle. 15 years. I'd clawed my way through certifications that could fill a resume twice over, CPCM, CFCM, endless acronyms that meant I was the firewall between this company and federal audits that could shut us down faster than a bad stock tip. I'd negotiated deals in windowless rooms with DoD officials who didn't crack smiles, ensured every invoice was spotless, every clause ironclad. But Tyler? He saw legacy where I saw leverage. He wanted agile innovation, code for replacing steady hands with flashy ones. His new pick for my role was Kayla, a 28-year-old with a killer Instagram feed and a thesis on disruptive procurement strategies. She'd been here 3 weeks and already confused a FAR clause with a fashion trend. The office hummed around me, oblivious. Down the hall, the sales team high-fived over a minor win, their voices echoing off the open-plan walls Tyler had insisted on installing last quarter. Collaboration breeds success, he'd preached in the all-hands meeting, while I sat in the back, mentally tallying the compliance risks of his streamlined processes.
Now. This.
I printed the email, folded it neatly, and walked to HR. Signed the form without a word. The coordinator, a kind-eyed woman named Maria, who'd been here almost as long as me, hesitated. "Elena, are you sure? This seems abrupt." I met her gaze. "Steady. It's their move. Let's see how it plays out." She nodded, stamped it, and that was that. By noon, my office, now Kayla's, was boxed up. I carried the cartons to the lobby myself, past the espresso bar, where interns clustered like it was a campus quad, not a firm handling classified munitions contracts. The reception desk was a sleek slab of glass and chrome, perched in the sunlit atrium like a forgotten throne. I set my things down, organized the badge drawer that had been a mess for months, and logged into the system. The first call came in, a vendor querying a delayed payment. I handled it flawlessly, quoting the contract number from memory. No one noticed. Or if they did, they didn't say. Tyler sauntered by around 2 p.m., AirPods in, nodding vaguely in my direction, like I was part of the furniture. Settling in. "Elena? Great vibes down here."
Vibes.
As if national security ran on good energy. I smiled politely, said nothing.
Inside,
though, a quiet fire simmered. The big renewal for our flagship contract, the one that accounted for 60% of revenue, was looming. October 15th. Without my active certification as the primary contracting officer, it was dead in the water. But Tyler didn't know that. Or if he did, he thought Kayla's fresh perspective could charm the feds. Days blurred into a routine of quiet observation. Kayla paraded through the lobby in designer heels, clutching her tablet like a shield, barking orders at juniors about synergizing the workflow. She once stopped at my desk to ask how to access the secure DoD portal. Isn't it just like logging into Salesforce? She quipped, flipping her hair. I directed her to IT, biting back the explanation that it required clearance levels she didn't have. Meanwhile, I watched the emails trickle in on the shared monitors, mislabeled files, unversioned spreadsheets flying to auditors. Tyler hosted innovation huddles in the break room, toasting with organic smoothies, preaching about ditching old-school red tape. The board loved it. Stock ticked up on whispers of modernization. But I knew the undercurrent. The contract clause I'd drafted years ago. Buried in subsection 8b, renewal required the signature of the original PCO or a federally notarized delegate. No shortcuts. No vibes. Whispers started around week 2. A senior engineer, grizzled and loyal, paused at my desk during lunch. Elena, quick question. Why is Kayla's name on the credential list without a Fed ID? I shrugged, voice even. Not my department anymore. He frowned, walked away. The air grew thicker. Tyler's confidence cracked in subtle ways. Longer hours. Sharper emails. Kayla's social media glow faded. She looked harried, snapping at the coffee machine when it jammed. I kept my head down, answering phones, logging visitors, all while the calendar ticked toward doomsday. The party planning email hit inboxes on a Friday. Post-renewal bash, celebrating our agile future. Champagne. Catered apps. A slideshow on next-gen compliance. They even ordered banners. DoD greenlit, onward. I saw Kayla pose under one for a team pic. Her smile strained. But her portal access? Still pending. Denied twice for incomplete delegation paperwork. By Monday, the panic simmered just below the surface. I caught snippets from the elevator. Where's the continuity file? Elena's old stuff, did we archive it? Tyler paced his glass-walled office, phone glued to his ear, arguing with legal. It's just bureaucracy. We'll retro it. But federal contracts don't retro. They revoke. I sip my coffee at the desk, unflinching. The audit confirmation arrived that afternoon. DoD reps on site Thursday at 10 a.m. Tyler left his laptop open in the lounge while grabbing a snack. I glimpsed the subject line. The urgency. No one asked me.
Not yet.
Wednesday brought the unraveling. Kayla hovered near my desk 3 times, fumbling questions about form exports and acronyms. Def. Is that like a department or something? I answered factually. Nothing more. That evening, alone in the lobby after hours, I logged into my personal federal portal. My credentials? Still active. Flagged as role suspended. 1 click. Reactivate. Confirmation. Owner verified. Status. Ready. Thursday dawned crisp. The city skyline glinting through the atrium windows. I arrived early, badge scanning seamlessly. The DoD team, 2 agents in crisp suits, one with a briefcase that screamed no nonsense, arrived at 9:55. Tyler greeted them with forced charisma, leading them to the boardroom. Kayla trailed, notes in hand. I watched from my perch, the glass walls offering a front-row seat to the drama. Voices rose, muffled at first, then clearer. Clause 8b, original PCO signature required. Tyler's laugh. Brittle. Elena's our legacy expert. She's downstairs. The agent's response. Flat. Demotion invalidates authority without proper transfer. Silence. Then chaos, paper shuffling, calls to legal. Someone spilled coffee. I heard the curse. Tyler's face paled, visible even from afar. Roger from legal emerged first, sweating despite the AC. Elena, could you join us? Just a quick clarification. I stood, smoothed my blouse, and walked in like I owned the place, because, in a way, I did. The room froze. Tyler's grin faltered. Elena, Glad you're here. Just need your sign off on this renewal. Easy fix. I took the document, scanned it. I'm not the PCO anymore. Remember? The agent.
Stoic.
Confirmed. Signature invalid without active title. Tyler leaned in, desperate. Come on. Be a team player. We'll sort the title later. I met his eyes.
Come.
3 weeks ago. You said my expertise was outdated. Legacy. Free to stay. For now. The board shifted uncomfortably. Kayla whispered something. Tyler snapped. We don't need to rehire her for this. I turned, walked out. Back at the desk. The phone rang. I answered professionally. As always. The whispers echoed. She's the only one. I waited. The clock ticking past noon. The contract hung by a thread. Expiration at midnight. And then, the elevator dinged. The founder's arrival hit like a storm front. Marcus Hargrove, the man who'd bootstrapped Apex from a dingy warehouse in Virginia to a powerhouse in Arlington, stepped out looking like he'd aged a decade since his retirement. Gray hair disheveled. Tie askew. Eyes sharp with the fire of someone who'd built empires on grit, not gradients. He didn't head to Tyler's office or the boardroom. Straight to me. Elena, he said, voice low.
Urgent.
We need to talk. I led him to a quiet side room, the one with outdated chairs Tyler deemed unvibey. He sat heavily, rubbing his temples. I trusted him. Thought the transition was smooth. The Diddy called me personally, said the whole thing craters without you. I stayed silent, letting him stew. Is it salvageable? Finally, I reached into my bag, pulled out 2 crisp documents. The first, my resignation, effective midnight. The second, a proposal from Vasquez Compliance Partners, my new firm. External audit and renewal services for the at-risk contract. Retainer, quadruple my old salary, plus equity options. His eyes widened at the figures. You've planned this. I prepared. I corrected. Credentials reactivated last night. Ready to sign, if reinstated properly. He scanned the terms, nodded slowly. The board will approve. They have no choice. He paused at the door. Why not just sign and come back as hero? I met his gaze. Because I wasn't the problem. Your son wrote me off.
Now.
I'm writing the terms. He left without another word. By dawn Friday, the emergency board call wrapped. My phone buzzed. Approved. Contract attached. I reviewed it. Principal consultant. PCO authority restored via external partnership. Signed digitally. Credentials linked. At 7 a.m. I walked in. New badge gleaming. Vasquez Compliance Partners. The guard did a double take, but waved me through. Tyler's office light was on. He watched me pass. Face a mask of shock. No words exchanged. In the war room, Kayla packed her desk quietly, avoiding eyes. The renewal packet waited. I signed with deliberate strokes. The paralegals rushing it to scan. Upload. Notify, DOD. Minutes later, status, compliant. Relief washed over the room like a tide. Tyler wasn't axed outright. A memo circulated. Tyler Hargrove transitions to non-operational advisory role. No authority over federal matters. Kayla vanished by noon, her team dissolving into confusion. Interns muttered about real compliance gigs. My new office? Top floor. Views of the Potomac. Nameplate. Elena Vasquez. Principal. I hung a framed copy of Clause 8B. Highlighted. A reminder of buried power. But the real shift came subtly. Board members nodded respectfully in halls. Engineers sought my input on proposals. The agile buzz faded, replaced by rigorous protocols I'd always championed. Tyler slunk around, avoiding me. His smirk's gone. One afternoon, he knocked tentatively. Elena. About before. I underestimated. I looked up, unflinching.
Yes.
You did. No more needed. He left. Diminished. Months rolled on. My firm grew, 2 associates. Consults for other contractors. Apex became my anchor client. Every dollar funneled through my gates. Marcus visited occasionally, sharing war stories. You saved us, he said once. No, I replied. I saved myself. The office hummed differently now, efficient, grounded. No more banners or bashes. Just results.
See?
After that signature hit the portal, the air in Apex didn't just clear, it thickened with unspoken reckonings. Tyler's transition wasn't a soft landing. He got a corner office on a lower floor, stripped of keys to the kingdom. I heard him arguing with HR over email privileges, his voice echoing down the stairwell like a fading echo. Kayla? She posted a vague LinkedIn update about new adventures, but word got around. She'd bombed an interview at a rival firm when they asked about basic FAR regs. Her glow-up was overexposed.
Me?
I dove in. First order, a full audit of all contracts. I uncovered 3 vulnerabilities Tyler's team had glossed over, sloppy delegations that could have triggered penalties. The board ate it up, extending my retainer. Elena's our insurance, one said in a meeting I now chaired. Insurance. Funny how they reframed necessity as strategy. But I felt the shift in my bones. Power wasn't just back, it was amplified. No more answering to whims. My terms, my timeline. One evening, as the sun dipped low, casting long shadows across my desk, Marcus dropped by unannounced. He carried a bottle of aged scotch. 2 glasses. To partnerships, he toasted.
Pouring.
We clinked. Tyler struggling, he admitted after a sip. Thinks I bailed him out by bringing you in. I swirled my glass. You didn't bail him. You corrected him.
Marcus sighed.
Lines deepening. He's my son. Arrogant? Yes. But he had vision. Vision without foundation crumbles, I said softly. He nodded, staring out at the river. You remind me of me, back in the day. No flash, just fortitude. We talked late. About the early years, his garage setups, my certification marathons. A quiet alliance formed, one that outlasted the scotch. But under the calm, embers smoldered. Tyler cornered me in the lobby one day, eyes wild. You planned this,
Didn't you?
the clause, the timing. I met his stare. I built systems to protect the company. You dismantled them. He huffed. Legacy bullshit. Call it what you want, I replied. But without it, you're advising from the sidelines. He stormed off. But the encounter lingered. A reminder that revenge wasn't my goal. Resilience was. As winter set in, Apex stabilized. Revenue climbed. Audits passed flawlessly. My firm expanded, a small team, handling overflow from other DoD contractors. Referrals poured in. Whispers of the woman who turned demotion into domination. I didn't chase the spotlight. It found me. A trade journal profiled me anonymously, the quiet architect of compliance.
Satisfying.
But secondary. The true victory?
Control.
Every renewal. Every signature, mine. Tyler faded further, eventually resigning for a startup venture. Kayla? Last I heard. Back in school for real certs. Marcus retired fully. Content. And me? I sat in my office. Portal open. Credentials eternal. The city lights twinkled below. A world I'd mastered on my terms. The months after weren't all smooth sails. There were ripples, undercurrents that tested the new order. Take the board's first pushback, They wanted to integrate my firm back internally. Cut costs. I presented data. My external status reduced liability. Enhanced objectivity. They backed down. But it revealed fractures. Tyler's allies lingered, murmuring about overreach. One VP tried undermining a report I flagged as risky. I called it in a meeting. Ignore this. And you're courting fines. Eyes shifted. He relented. Power plays. Subtle but sharp. Personally, it stirred old wounds. Nights alone in my condo, overlooking the Potomac, I'd replay the demotion. The sting of being labeled legacy. A polite coffin nail.
But it fueled me.
I mentored my new hires. 2 sharp women from underrepresented backgrounds, teaching them the ropes I'd forged. Knowledge is armor, I'd say. 1. Sophia reminded me of young me, hungry, precise. Watching her nail her first cert exam, priceless. Then came the curveball. A rival firm poached a key engineer, citing our instability. Tyler's handiwork? Rumors swirled. I traced it, loose lips from a circle. Confronted the board. Clean house or lose more. 2 resignations followed. Stability restored. Spring brought renewal season again. The big contract loomed, but this time, seamless. My signature flew through. No drama. Post-approval. Marcus invited me to dinner, not corporate. Family style at his home. Tyler was there. Subdued. Avoiding eye contact. Over steak. Marcus raised a glass. To lessons learned. Tyler muttered agreement. Later, in the study, he approached. I get it now. Underestimated the groundwork. Apology? Close enough. I nodded. Build on it. Truce. Of sorts. My firm hit milestones. First million in billings. Expansions to cybersecurity compliance. Apex thrived under steadier leadership. A new COO. Pragmatic. I consulted broadly. My name a whisper in DoD circles. But the core? That quiet satisfaction of turning dismissal into dominion. One rainy afternoon, sorting old files, I found the demotion email. Laughed softly. Framed it?
No.
Shredded it. Past buried. Future secured. And yet, the story doesn't end there.
See.
True power whispers long after the storm. A year in, Apex faced a congressional inquiry, routine, but scrutiny on procurement ethics. My Clause 8B? It shielded us. My documentation impeccable. The board sent flowers. Indispensable. I smiled. Placed them on my desk beside the highlighted frame. Tyler's startup flopped. He consulted sporadically. Lessons etched. Kayla? She messaged once. Apologetic. Seeking advice. I replied kindly. Study the clauses. They bite back. Mentorship. Even in echoes. Marcus passed unexpectedly. A heart thing. His funeral. Somber.
Packed.
Tyler spoke. Voice cracking. Afterward, he shook my hand. Dad respected you. So do I.
Now.
Evolution. My firm grew legs. Offices in DC. And San Diego. Team of 10. I spoke at conferences. Low-key. Compliance isn't sexy, but it's survival. Applause followed. But the heart? In quiet moments, watching the river flow, I reflected. Demotion wasn't downfall, it was forge. I emerged stronger. Terms mine. What if they'd valued me sooner? A question for ethics classes. For me, no regrets. Just the hum of a portal. Credentials eternal. Empire secured on foundations I built. The city slept, I didn't. At midnight, I clicked renew. Green light. Always.